Hello. I never called anyone idiots. How dare you play and pander to your audience in such a nakedly kiss my ass way? Come on.
It wasn't, but I mean, you certainly said the audience have been kind of like dumbed down. Was it? What
No,
did you say? What did it say about the audience?
was I
What did it say?
questioned the intelligence, and you're allowed to question anyone and everything. So
Can I push back on that like tremendously?
Sure, feel free to push back on that. I don't know how you can push back on questioning people, but
You can question. I'm not going to push back on question.
There you go. That's all I said.
You can question anything. You can question anything you want.
And
I'm just saying the reason, but the actual question itself, I'll push back on, because what you had said is that inside of the tweet itself was something along the lines. And again,
I'll clarify it. All I said was, people are so good. Essentially, my point was, people want to just blame executives and blame studios. They never want to look at themselves. And if moviegoers keep going to see crap movies, how is that going to influence executives and creatives to make better movies? That's essentially what I said.
But there's a couple problems with that.
Okay.
The first one being that, as you will agree, as we've talked about many times, that, movies and opinions on what's good and what's not are subjective.
Of course, always. Right. Every movie is subjective.
What you think could be piss in Jurassic World, those who saw it might disagree with you and say, well, I liked that better than those other movies. And because you're essentially saying your taste, because you thought those two were better, well, then they're liking the dumb movie that I didn't like.
Exactly.
Okay. That's part one, which I don't agree with.
What's the problem?
Well, because
what's the problem?
It's saying that your opinion is the one that is saying that's a good movie and that's not a good movie.
Yes, exactly. Guess what? All my tweets are opinion. Guess what? Breaking news. Breaking news.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's part one. Yeah. Part two is the reason why I push back on that particular movie, because you remember, and not for any reason, and it's not because of the winning the steak dinner and all that stuff.
I'll give you an F about the steak dinner, for God's sake.
What I'm saying is, I've been saying it for months that Jurassic World would win, and be the one out of the three. Had nothing to do with thinking the audience, was just like dumber movie. It's because the domestic between Superman and Jurassic World is not that different.
It's 316 to 317. Right. They're literally similar.
The domestic audience, like it's the international audience that decided, and it is really.
So what are we saying?
What I'm saying is that dinosaurs, they don't go to see those movies internationally, whether they're watching on subtitles or converted or whatever. They're not going for the dialogue of it. They're going for the spectacle of it. And I think superhero guess. What? That's my guess. That's my guess. And I think that superhero movies in general are starting to weigh on people. I think that the genre, like we've talked about with Westerns and other things, I think that they're not as compelling unless you have something like a Hugh Jackman and coming back and it's like some real big gimmick. I think Avengers will pull. But I think it's tough. And the other thing that you had mentioned, which as a father, I can say I disagree with. Okay. I do think that kids will go gravitate more towards dinosaurs than they will Superman. I think maybe not 20, 30 years ago, but today.
No. That's fair. And as a father, I can't speak to that because I don't have kids. But Superman, why is that happening? Why is that an issue? Like, that's the thing. These Jurassic Park movies, Jurassic World movies are absolute dog crap. Like, literally, since the first one. Since the first one, they are not good. They are not. I don't care how anyone tries to defend them, especially if the whole brand is attached to defending them. They are not good movies. Those are not good movies overall. So I'm always fascinated by people who are like, well, the Transformers movies are terrible, but Jurassic World, Jurassic Park, that's high art. And then when you say to them, well, that's kind of not, it's not that good a movie. Oh, well, they're dumb fun. Dumb fun about science? Like, this is the thing. Dumb fun, it's a social commentary. Every one of those films has a social commentary. So this idea of the people trying to have it both sides. They're trying to have their cake and eat it too. They're trying to say it's dumb fun. And then when you go, well, they're dumb movies. No, they're about science and about exploring stuff. So which is it? And that's the thing that's frustrating to me as we look at this stuff. But with kids, if Superman doesn't appeal to children, I think that's a shame. Superman stands for what we're supposed to aspire to as human beings, right? And I get the dinosaurs are great, but then there's something wrong that you're not teaching your children about Superman when Superman is one of these superheroes of all the superheroes.
Yeah, I've tried. My daughter doesn't. She cared about the dog. She cared about the dog.
Oh,
And that was it. She didn't want to see the movie, and out of the two of those movies she'd want to see. And my oldest, they'd rather see Jurassic World.
And look, you got to respect what your kids want to watch, and you're not going to force your kids. I mean, you don't want to indoctrinate your kids, but you want to present it and see if they'll grab onto it, right? And I think that's where I talked about the blame for studios and creatives, the fact that their Superman movies have not been consistently good. You could argue what Superman 1 is good, Superman 2 is good, and the other ones are mixed. And then I love Man of Steel, but I know it's a mixed reception.
Sure.
But yeah, so the society and the studios and the creators have not done a great job of bringing Superman across the line. But Batman still pulls, Batman still attracts, and that's because Batman has consistently delivered damn good movies across their part.
Yeah, also there's something.
The thing is, I don't think there's anything wrong with questioning the taste of movies. Look, they're not. No one's untouchable, and this idea that how dare you come for the moviegoers, us precious little people? That's nonsense. You can get criticized in every arena of life. Why can't you be criticized for your movie tastes? That's nonsense. And I'll finish my point off with this. Over the last 20 years, more movies of lower level quality and intelligence and plots have made more money than any previous 20-year time in the history of film. That says something. Look at the education levels across the states. They are dropping in a lot of states compared to where they were 20 years ago. Right. There's a reason for that. They're cutting funding for education. Everything's connected. Right. So you've got to look at it in a bigger picture rather than me likey this, me no likey that. There's more.
The other day someone asked me, how do you still eat well if you're really busy and you don't have the time? Yeah, I'm telling you, you got a busy schedule. You got all the summer plans going on. What do you have at best? A couple of minutes? Factor really has helped me eat smarter. It's got the tasty chef prep meals. They're dietitian approved, delivered right to my door. And now the best part is they have more than 65 weekly meals. It's made for how I live right now, what I like to eat. I've gotten more ways to get fit with a real meal wherever the day takes me, and they really zone it to what your preferences are. There's more variety. There's more meals. You can choose for a wider selection of weekly meal options, including premium seafood choices, salmon, shrimp. Salmon's delicious at no extra cost. Shrimp's great too, by the way. I just love the salmon. You can savor global flavors. So for the first time, you can try the Asian-inspired meals with bold flavors influenced by China, Thailand, and more. From more choices to better nutrition, that's why 97% of customers say that Factor helped them live a healthier life. You can feel the difference no matter your routine. I've been doing it. You should do it too. I'm telling you, I love Factor. I've talked about it the other day. Someone asked me about it. I was raving about it. We didn't even have a spot on the show. And I was talking about how much I love Factor. So you can eat smart at factormeals.com/Christian50off, but use that code Christian50off. Get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That is the code Christian50off at factormeals.com for 50% off plus free shipping. Get delicious, ready to eat meals delivered with Factor. I think that there's more. I'm telling you though, I think there's a lot to do with spectacle, especially now what and how people go and see movies, right? Because let's talk about the actual box office.
I was defending Quantumania and Love and Thunder. That's a different conversation.
Yeah,
but I'm defending two damn good superhero movies. And
I understand.
I think some people were like, "Well, aren't people exhausted by superheroes?" No, man, these are good movies. So
I do think people are. There's a lot of these people. I'm telling you, there was. I remember it wasn't. It wasn't this movie because my uncle actually did go and see Superman, but it was another. It was The Flash when The Flash was coming out.
Right.
And I remember that I started to see things kind of turning there. Where I remember that when a Superman movie came out, everybody wanted to go see. It was a big, huge event. Now there's just so many of them, and I think that one of the points that I saw made that I agree with too is that what Jurassic World has going for it that these superhero movies don't is that there's a superhero movie every 6 months. There's a Jurassic World movie every 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, but it's like they're always crap. So
I don't disagree with you. I think they're not great, but I'm just
the argument.
Because there's something in those Jurassic World. I said it in my out of the theater reaction. I said it in the review itself. I don't know what it is about those movies. Yeah. But at the end of it, I said, this was just it's not good. I didn't hate it as much. It's not good. But I said, but at the end of it, I said, will I go see another one? Yeah. I'll go see another one.
But that's the hypocrisy, isn't it? Because people are like, those Transformers movies are terrible, but then they'll defend the Jurassic Park movies when they're literally the same quality.
Right, but wouldn't you be arguing against yourself?
And then still, because I accept the movies that people don't like those movies, like Jurassic Park.
But they do well. Aren't you arguing? But aren't you arguing yourself? Those aren't well made. I
I
shouldn't
would
say well made. Intelligently. I shouldn't say well made.
yeah, intelligent. Yes, fair, totally fair. But I know that going in, right? And those aren't trying to make a social commentary about our world. Like the last Jurassic World movie, you have a billionaire who is trying to get a cure for cancer because he wants to raise the prices and make even more money and squeeze out the little people.
I forgot about the plot until you brought it up. I forgot.
There you go. It's I'm saying the plots are there. It's and Scarlett and what's his face all of a sudden get a conscience and they want to do a socialist approach by letting everybody have access to the cure. So these are these things that are going on in all of these movies. And to say, I just go for the dumb fun, it's like you're ignoring what is the basic point of these movies supposed to be.
I know, but I also think just because
Transformers doesn't have any of that.
And I think the Transformers will fit into this category also, especially with Bay coming back. As much as I hate it, you know, it's like it's one of these things where people want to switch things around and see different things. That's why F1 had success. That's why these other, it's like I just think that the day of the dominance of the superhero movies and the comic book movies, I think we used to talk about it on Claire all the time. When is it going to be the end of the empire? I think that I don't think the empire is ending, but I think it's in the shits. And I think Fantastic Four doing the numbers that it did shows it, because out of the three of them, I like that movie the best. I really did. And I just think that this is not good for Marvel. I do think Avengers will perform, and I think because of the event status that it has, and the way that Deadpool and Wolverine had that event status thing, right?
But that's why I think the argument is flawed right now, because people are like, oh, we're just tired of superhero movies. But these are good superhero movies. So you could have made that argument during Love and Thunder and Quantumania, and I'd have been like, I totally get it. 100%, I'm behind you. And if you watch my show yesterday, if you go beyond my tweet, I fleshed out and said, like, you know, I get it, because the TV shows came in and they were inconsistent. That has hurt the Marvel brand big time. The 2021 stuff onward, there's been a lot of wonkiness in the quality. So I concede that there hasn't been great quality. But if you're not showing up for the stuff that is great quality, how much of a motivation is that to the studios to do great quality?
It's true. It is true. And you have to market it right. And here's a clarification.
I mean, Deadpool Wolverine is not that good of a movie, and
no, that's true. But here's a clarification. I keep getting this comment. As far as, like, let's say a movie with high quality, like Transformers 1, right? The marketing on that movie was awful. And for those who say,
the animated film, yes,
and some say I bashed the marketing, yes, because the marketing sucked. The trailer sucked. It looked like it was going to be a big piece of shit. And guess what? Because of that marketing, the movie ate shit. It ate shit. Nobody went and saw it, and it was fantastic. It was one of the greatest movies because of the year, animation-wise. It was great, but it ate shit because people don't know how to market these things. And it's like, okay, is it actual quality? Can these things be quality? And if and the other reason why you can still blame the executives, John, is because
you can't.
No, I know you do. I know, but I'm saying one of the main reasons you still can, because of the budgets. They're lighting these things up because you know, if you're going to spend whatever you spend on Jurassic World and make your money back and then some, business decision, you did it.
But look, they cut the budget down on Fantastic Four by going for lower budget actors. And that's the truth. Look at the truth. They didn't go for Adam Driver, Margot Robbie, or Adam Stone. They couldn't afford them.
Right.
And so they went lower budget, and people still didn't show up. So yeah, it's unfortunately, it is a case by case basis right now. There's no generalization thing you can make, which is why I think you have to look at everybody involved in the situation, and no one gets to escape criticism. That's nonsense. You're not children. You're not little sensitive babies. No one gets to escape criticism. And no, your taste is not unquestionable. That's nonsense. And so it's you're allowed to question the intelligence. You're allowed to question the tastes. You're allowed to question everything.
Sure.
In every other arena, we can do that.
I think it is, because I just know you. I know you.
But I'm not removing that these movies haven't been consistently good, or the
sure. I guess it's because I know you so well that it's like if I was, these conversations that you and I are having right now is essentially like people on Twitter can't have those face-to-face kind of organizations. So it's like, it's you going, no, this, and it looks like it's like it looks like a definitive statement, basically what you're saying, right? I know, I get your point of view. I don't agree with a lot of the takes of it, but I understand where you're coming from, right? Like I really do. You
don't think we should? You don't think the moviegoers question talent or tastes or what
could you question? Of course. I'm saying some of the things, some of the reasons maybe behind why they're not working. So we can't, like you said, like you said to me, it's my opinion of what I think of the reasons why people are in the same way that you think. You can definitively feel. I don't feel that way. I don't feel like getting.
I don't agree with your marketing thing on. I don't think Transformers 1 was going to make that much more, even if it was well marketed.
It was. Dude, it looked like a straight up kids movie.
Listen, listen again. I hear what you're saying, and I think you're right to say it wasn't marketed well. But I don't think the marketing being better would have done that much of a difference.
I don't think it would have made it a massive hit, but it certainly would have shown it for when they put that out. I thought it was a goofy movie aimed towards children. So it was, and
no, you're not wrong.
Because that's the way the trailers are presented, and that wasn't the movie.
Yeah, no,
it was a totally misrepresented movie.
Yeah.
Because you're right, the critics' reception was good for it. Like people, I guess at that point though, they kind of made up their mind, and it depends on. It's hard. I mean, even though it says a solid IP, it's hard to get people in for animated movies if it's not like
100%.
Look at Elio.
Yeah,
Elio and was a decent movie, and just another one that just ate it. But nonetheless, let's still kind of dive into the numbers.
Oh yeah, sure.
Themselves here, because Fantastic Four dropped hard at the box office. This is Marvel Studios' Fantastic Four. First Steps pulled in 11.7 million domestically on Friday, and so the overall number I think was what they do 40 something. How much?
42 million, I think.
42 million. Saturday numbers coming in. Estimates for the film's weekend are on track for 40 to 45, which should bring it domestic to just around 200 million after 10 days. Unfortunately, it means a 66% drop off. And some places were saying 80, right? Massive 80% on Friday.
That was the 80 between Friday and Friday.
Got it. Much closer to the kind of drop seen by Brave New World than by Thunderbolts or Superman, with the latter hitting 236.2 million by the end of its second weekend. Despite initially strong numbers from the Marvel faithful, it seems the film lacks traction with the general audience. That said, the film looks like to surpass the full domestic box office totals of both the previous MCU films this year by Monday. Another question will be international numbers released tomorrow. Where the film opened well last weekend, will they see a slump like the domestic? Also hitting this weekend domestically was The Bad Guys 2, which is headed for a 22 million opening weekend, which is about on par with the first. The critically well-received Naked Gun reboot is headed for 16 million opening weekend, with exit polls reportedly showing excellent scores, suggesting the film should have legs. James Gunn's Superman will take in 13.5 million in its fourth weekend, down 46% by the end of the weekend. Should be at 16 million domestically. It's expected the film will end its state's site somewhere around 350. Rounding out the top five, Jurassic World Rebirth with 8.1, expected to hit 317 by the end of Sunday. It's likely to end its run around the 340. Together, pulled in around 6.7, and Sunday 10 to 11 million since it opened on Wednesday. So the other thing I want to bring up here, I'll bring up Box Office Mojo, and here are the actual numbers themselves. Fantastic Four, First Steps, 40 million, 368 so far worldwide.
It's not bad for 2 weeks.
It's okay for I mean, it's okay for 2 weeks if you didn't have the week that you did in week one.
Right. Well, I mean, we'll see.
We'll talk about The Bad Guys 2, 44 million so far. That's a pretty good number. You're pretty happy. Naked Gun, I really do hope this movie has legs. I forget, John, did you wind up seeing it?
I know, I'm seeing it this afternoon.
Oh, okay. 30 million so far, and I don't think it cost that much.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't cost that much. I think it was 11 million was the.
Okay. More and more people seem to be excited about seeing it. So Superman now, again, 551. So it looks like it's going to hit that 600 close to 600, what we talked about. Right. And then Jurassic World worldwide at almost 800 million.
Yeah.
So I think it'll tap out around 800 million, close to it now. Either way. So the reason why I think Fantastic Four, I think it's a disaster. I really do. I think it's a disaster. I think for Marvel, they needed this movie to get people excited again, because now all you're doing is resting on the laurels of the fact that it's the Avengers. We have Downey back. Please come and see the movie now. I mean, you'll have Spider-Man that comes out first, and it's Spider-Man, so that doesn't really count. Spider-Man is Spider-Man. I think, though, they're going to, and it's not really leading into the Avengers movie. This was the movie that's supposed to get you excited about who these new heroes are. And you're like, okay, you have a big, huge weekend, or a nice weekend, 120, whatever it was. And then you drop to 40 million. That's a massive, massive drop. It does show exactly what they said in there. And that's the problem with going with these big budgets, because yes, you'll get that core audience in there if they really want to see it. The core audience is there. It's a big core audience. We had this conversation on Friday. The problem is it's not expanding and making people care the way that the first 3 phases did outside of the hardcore.
Yeah, I talked a little bit about this yesterday on my show, on my channel. It was like there's so much to look at here with it because it is a good movie. It is the reviews are great. It's an A- cinema score, which matches Superman cinema score. It was marketed to the teeth, but I agree with you. Everyone trying to shift goalposts now that somehow Marvel is okay with 500 million being the end point for this movie is out of their effing minds. Okay. 368 is a good number for most movies, but they sank a lot of money into this movie.
Yeah.
Making $200 million to make the film, and then probably 100 to 150 million dollars, and probably close to 150 on the marketing with the way they were doing stuff globally. I mean, I got a fucking lunchbox here. There's all kinds of stuff that they were doing to promote Fantastic. The $85 Galactus popcorn bucket. Like
right.
they thought this movie, and I know from people I know who work with people with Marvel, who work with people at Marvel, that internally they felt this movie was going to explode at the box office, make like $800 million because they have to ramp up to Doomsday and Secret Wars with this film and Spider-Man. They do not have 3 phases like they did with Infinity War and Endgame. So they thought this was going to be the one that was going to get people, as you said, Kristian, excited about Marvel again, that they're on the right path. And Kevin Feige even made this film not connected to the overall universe. If you walked out of the theater during the credits, you would have no idea that it's connected to the main universe until Doom shows up. And Doom's not even technically in the other universe yet. Right. So there is so much about the film that they tried to say, we've heard you, we're making the changes, and people still didn't show up. And I think this is absolutely a disaster. And if they get to 5, God forbid 6, they'd be lucky to get to 6, but at the 5, it is absolutely a loss. People are like, they're going to break even. Marvel didn't want to break even with this movie.
Right. It's like, yeah, because I think the difference also is this. Disney this year, what have they had? And maybe I'm just not remembering, but what have they had this year that hit big?
Lilo and Stitch.
Lilo and Stitch. Okay.
Yeah.
So Lilo and Stitch.
Only $1 billion film.
Right. So Lilo and Stitch at $1 billion. Okay. So they have some profit to play with inside of their movie. But still, Thunderbolts didn't do well.
No.
Captain America
didn't do well.
Didn't do well. So losses there, or breaking even maybe, but losses, and so they lose money. Snow White ate it, right? So they've already kind of started losing money to balance out. Plus now this big one, so they're not in a spot where like, oh, our other movies made money, we can deal with them with a an average. Okay, Warner Brothers can do that. So when they look at Superman and go, Superman made 600. Look, it made $600 million, whatever it made. It did. It made us a little money, but it got people excited about it. We're moving forward. Guess what else happened? Sinners crushed, freaking Minecraft crushed, and there was a few other ones that crushed. They had a big year. They had a bigger year already. We're only in August, so they can say, you know what, 600, that's fine. That's a good way for us to start. Let's be a little bit frugal, a little bit on the box office. Disney, it's funny how the tables have turned. Disney's not in that spot to be able to do that with Marvel, and Marvel really needs to get to that finish line of Avengers and just go all in on X-Men, and that's it. That's it.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you, but you know what? This doesn't bode well though, because the idea of them doing event movies is fine, like you said earlier at the beginning of the show with Deadpool and Wolverine, bringing back Hugh Jackman and all of that, but if you can't rely on event movies to save your franchise only, not if you're going to build to things the way Marvel is building to things. And some people suggested on my stream yesterday, like they need to go back to doing trilogies for separate characters, like they did with Captain America, with Thor, with what they did with Spider-Man, what they did with other characters. I'm like, that's absolutely a great idea. Like they have to go back because we have to care about these characters. There's no reason we shouldn't have gotten a second Shang-Chi movie. There's no reason we shouldn't have gotten more with these other characters.
There's no plan, John. It's like, isn't it always? That's always, and that's what I used to say about the freaking new trilogy in Star Wars all the time. The reason why no invest, there was no plan.
Yeah,
and it's the same thing. And someone brought up a very good point in the live chat. Also, Disney's. Well, it's not like Disney's going to be in major trouble here. They have Avatar coming out, like a Zootopia coming out.
Right,
they'll be fine. They'll be fine. But it's like, but when you get to this point right now, they're looking at the ones that have lost them money, it's all Marvel stuff. Where it was all Marvel that was putting the money in the bank, now it's the other stuff. So yeah, those two movies, they're not gonna have a huge. They'll be okay. Disney, but Marvel is like, now you got to wonder. It's like, hey, our star athlete blew their knee out. You know, it's like, we don't know. They had rehab and they're everything. You know, it seems like they can run, but they're just not as fast as they used to be.
And I said I made the comparison more boxing wise, where like Disney started out and they were winning the first 6 rounds, but 7, 8, and 9, they've been taking a lot of hits. They've gotten knocked down a couple times. They're on the ropes. 10, 11, and 12, those rounds are going to decide this fight right now.
Right.
And we're looking at Brand New Day, Doomsday, and Secret Wars. There's been no buildup to this, and then people are not coming to see the Fantastic Four and the numbers they thought to help with the buildup.
Right.
So they're going to wait till it goes on Disney Plus, which is another element of this that needs to be explored as well. Like, is that a smart business decision to run these movies quickly onto digital? But anyway, that they're gonna, if those things don't, if Brand New Day, and I think, well, listen, you can question Brand New Day. Destin Daniel Cretton did Shang-Chi, and that's a lot of people like that movie, but people have criticisms of that movie. It's not John Watts coming back to do it,
right?
And then you've got the Russos coming back, but the Russos have had a spotty record outside Marvel. They're not coming back with the 2 writers together. It's only one of the writers who wrote their stuff before. And then you're bringing back all these characters and you're trying to fix the universe and go forward with and launch a new phase here with the X-Men characters and the mutant stuff. And there's no guarantees, especially when people reacted down the middle, a 50-50 split of liking it and hating it with RDJ coming back. There's no guarantee that these movies are going to have the emotional impact and the excitement and joy that
could just be a gimmick. It could just be a gimmick. I hope it's not.
And people will see through it. People will see through it.
It's true, because that's where, unfortunately, that's where they are right now. They're at a place, like I said earlier, that it's no longer like, hey, I know you guys like Fantastic Four, and we got you that buildup. You're excited for what's coming next. Now it's like, hey guys, we got Downey, Chris Hemsworth's coming back. This, and it'll all be relevant to the story. That's fine, but now they have to rely on that. Beforehand, it was the audience saying, oh, that's all they're doing. It's nostalgia and they're desperate. Now they have to be desperate. Now they have to be desperate, and they have to market this way because their movies are not, they're just not delivering the way that they used to. And I think that people, and I'm telling you, the oversaturation of Marvel in general was really a disservice. It really was. There was just too much, and the homework aspect and all that, it was a disservice. It diluted the product.
I don't think it would have diluted it if it was good. And the fact that it's not good.
But hindsight, it's like, but the fact is, it wasn't.
No, 100%. No, I know. And that's why I think it's not about quantity, it's about quality. If all of that stuff was good and people were like waiting for the next TV show from Marvel, they couldn't wait to see what amazing stuff they did, then there'd be a different situation. But yeah, clearly Iger, and it was Iger and Chapek and Feige, all of them because people love to give Feige like a pass, like he's some low-level employee that they push around, which is just utter nonsense. All 3 of them bear responsibility for this path forward through streaming, right? But I also think, and again, I got to call out the fans here, like, guys, they were trying to think on their feet during COVID, and it was tough. And I'm not here shilling or anything like that, because God, the single brain cell organisms of people who say that crap drive me insane. It's more of analysis, right? You've got to also understand they were in a position where they're in completely newfound territory. How do we react to the fact that theaters are being shut down? No one is leaving their houses. We've got to do these, but we've got to do these shows and adhere to the COVID guidelines. So Captain America gets cut by a few episodes and comes a little under, or the Winter Soldier one. No, yes, Falcon and Winter Soldier gets undercut and it doesn't come out well. Some of the other shows are a little wonky. We're thinking on the fly. So it didn't turn out well. And I understand that. And you can judge it by the quality and all of that. But look, they were trying to do things on the fly. It didn't work out. But it wasn't like their plan was, this is normal days, normal everything. We're just now going to inundate you with all this stuff. It was a plan because people were home. And now they realize that they got bit in the ass because they didn't put good quality out there and get people excited. So both
I think they got cocky though too, John. I think they got cocky. I think they got cocky also. I think that it was
probably.
Yeah, I think when you're throwing everything against the wall and everything's sticking, and you're in a place for that many years when everybody's seen everything that you do, and you put out like, hey, what about this movie? We're going to put a talking raccoon in it. Huge hit. Nobody knows what it was. Who cares? This movie, Captain Marvel, $1 billion. Like, what the hell's going on? We're King Midas. We can do whatever we want.
Well,
and then it's
that
like,
goes to my point, doesn't it? People kept coming even for their crappy stuff
because they
didn't need to put in extra effort and got
lead up, because what they did is they ran with this thing of, which was really one of its kind of the shared universe going into, although Kevin Smith did it first, but still, but leading to the idea of, look, this is going to lead to a big event, to a big event, to a big event. So everything was must see. It's not must see. It's not must see anymore, because we don't even know who the Avengers are. There's Avengers movie coming out. Who are they? Who are the Avengers? Who are they? Like the new Avengers. Okay, that a movie that not everyone saw. And then Mackey's Avengers. Who are they? We don't know yet. And then there's possibly the Young Avengers. Who are they? No one knows. There's no. It's a mess. It's a mess. And all they're doing now is really, as they should be at this point, it all is on Downey's shoulders now. And now it makes sense why they went and got him. As much as I think they could have gotten somebody else and done something. It makes sense why they did. They're just like, please help us.
Right. Yeah, and the people who come at this and go like, oh, it's because they went woke and DEI. It's just, to me, that's utter nonsense, because it was them changing directions and wanting to bring more people into the tent. And there's nothing wrong with that. The problem was the quality of those shows was not good. And so you essentially gave people ammunition to go after your decisions to be more inclusive. And
I do think sometimes, though,
on numerous avenues, they fumbled the ball. Yeah.
But I think there's times that you do things where it's like, it fits the story, it's right,
100%.
it works. And there's other times I do think that Feige sometimes bent the knee to social media. I think that there were some times that he was is like, oh, we need to do this. We have to do this because we're going to look like this if we don't do that. And it's like, just you didn't do that when you did movies like Black Panther, which was incredible movie. Yeah. It fit the time. It was time for the movie. People responded to it, and it felt like this is the story that we want to follow. You didn't have to be black to enjoy it. You didn't have you went and you watched that movie and you went, this is a powerful movie. They got an incredible filmmaker. You see, he's like one of the biggest stars ever, and they did things because everything just kind of it fit right. It just felt like during a period of time they were going, well, we were supposed to do this right now, because everybody was doing that. Every studio was doing that. Of
course.
And I think that sometimes Feige, I think he gets a little like, oh, I don't want social media to come after me.
That's great. But now we're on the other side of the court, right?
Sure.
Right? Because now we're seeing more conservative stuff. We're seeing more white actors being cast again, and over actors of color and women, more male actors. We're seeing all of that. So all of you who brought that energy for the last 4 years, how upset you were about DEI and blah, 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 you better bring that same energy when we see all these white people being in charge of stuff, leading stuff, catering to the conservative point of view, catering to the red state point of view. And when those shows and movies come out and they're crap, you better have the same energy, because I guarantee you a lot of those people won't. A lot of those people will forgive it and excuse it and say, no, it's fine, we'll get to the next one, or try to explain it away. And so if you're going to be consistent, then you've got to be consistent that if someone is listening to social media too much, no matter what side of the fence they're on, and adhering to it, and the quality of the product is terrible, you got to criticize it just as equally as you did the other side. If not, you're a fake outrager. Fake outrager.
Fair enough. Let's start to rave about Trade Coffee. You know how much I love Trade Coffee. So cold brew, you drink it year round. And the problem is you rely on grocery store concentrate on $6 cafe runs, mostly out of what, to me, I always thought it was convenience. But when Trade came, come on. Cold brew at home, it's easy. And it tastes way better, and it costs less than buying out. Doesn't matter if it's summer travel, weddings, weekends. My routine, I've talked about it. It's all over the place. But my cold brew ritual, that is the only thing that I won't skip. Thanks to Trade. They have the cold brew beans. They're smooth. They're easy to prep, whether you're brewing ahead for the week, filling my tumbler to take on the road. I can skip deliveries when I'm away. Trade is the #1 coffee destination for the U.S., both hot and cold coffee drinkers. They've sourced the best beans from the top roasters around the U.S., and now they have a special cold brew collection. I mean, come on. Plus, they've teamed up with 15 roasters to create a special cold brew bean collection that ensures your cold brew at home tastes exactly how it should. It's smooth and it's delicious. Love it. When they said they were doing this, it's like, oh, please and thank you. I already love you guys. Now I love you even more. So they sent this bag that I've been doing, and my buddy was in town. I said, hey, I got cold brew. Check it out. Brett, you know Brett. Brett loves it. Limited time trade is going to give you 50% off a month of cold brew. 50% off. That's around 60 cups of cold brew for 50% off. But you have to go to drinktrade.com/Christian. That is drinktrade.com/Christian. You get 50% off 1 month of cold brew. Drinktrade.com/Christian.